Conclusion did the great biologist Stephen Jay Gould draw from a lifetime study of fish?
Oh.
Yeah.
They haven't got any legs.
Is that his lifetime study?
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't his lifetime study of a fish.
Yeah. After a while, they smell.
Yeah. He's a bit thick, and he just stared at me, and they haven't got any legs.
Starfish don't have brains. It's the kind of Louis Walsh of the aquatic world. They really don't have brains, they're starfish.
And they're not really fish, are they, starfish, to be honest?
Well, the word fish is in there, which kind of qualifies them, I think.
Well, is a starfish a fish? Is a jellyfish a fish?
Well, yeah,
cuttlefish a fish?
Yes,
I
believe
a horse.
But the starfish...
A crayfish is a lobster.
There's a division, isn't there, in the world, whether it should be down to sort of experts in biology, whether things are fish, or whether it should be down to menus.
Yes.
Certainly, for example, a crayfish comes under fish in a menu.
He looks like he's reading the sell-by date on that.
He does, doesn't he? Stephen Jay Gould was very great. He's dead now. He's very great. He won a Nobel Prize. He was a paleontologist and an extraordinary biologist. And he came to a conclusion which is...
They can feel no love.
No, that there is no such thing as a fish. A fish has no biological meaning. There is just...
Well, I'm absolutely right. Go with menus.
On a menu it does. But in a menu, a fish is not the same as shellfish or seafood, is it?
It often comes in the same bit and separate from pudding.
Things that live in the sea.
Fish and a pudding are different.
Yeah.
How can something not be something? Something can't be not something, can it? But if you've created a something, then something has to be that something, otherwise you haven't created a something. So it has to be a fish if there is the idea of a fish in the first place.
I swear there's a philosophy somewhere.
Slow down, Plato.
There's some sort of ontological argument going there, and of course to us that we use the word fish. But biologically speaking, a salmon is more related to, say, a camel than it is to a hagfish. Like, there are lots of things that fly, like a bumblebee flies, a vulture flies, and there are flying lizards. They're not all birds.
No.
But we call things that swim in the sea fish, and actually, biologically, evolutionarily, they have absolutely nothing to do with each other at all.
So his life's
they're
work.
more closely related to us than to each other.
A friend of mine claims to be allergic to all seafood and fish.
Right,
Is that possible?
Freshwater as well as seawater?
Yes, so everything from a prawn via plankton to a trout is a no-go area, he says, and I think he's just fussy.
Some people say, oh no, I'm terribly allergic to shellfish, and then they order scallops because they don't know it's shellfish. They eat it and they're fine.
Yeah.
Nobody ever says they're allergic to starters, do they?
What do elasma branches taste like?
It's basically sharks and things like that are elasma branches, and rays. Manta rays and things like that are elasma branches. Rays can be very tasty.
Oh, yeah. Skates.
Skates, lovely. All skate wing with black butter and capers. Stop it at once. After a lifetime study of fish, biologist Stephen Jay Gould concluded that there's no such thing as a fish. And while we're at it, and under the sea, how many fish are there in this photograph?
Well, it's going to be a trick question, by the way. You set that up.
Well, given that there's no such thing as...
That's so unfair.
Stephen Gould, where are you when I need you?
Deeply unfair. Well, you see that shell on the right?
Yes.
Along the top of it is a long fish-like thing with an eye. That's actually part of the shell. This muscle actually makes a thing that looks like a fish so that another fish comes along and its own parasitic larvae sort of explode into the fish and live in its gills and are sent away and dispersed and grow elsewhere. We've got some film of it. This is it, the two eyes of this thing. That looks like a fish. Whoop, and this puff of larvae go off. To a fish, that looks like it might be a tasty morsel, but it's just bits of flesh that have grown up on the top of the...
Clever.
It's very clever, isn't it? That was just one fish. The other example was of animal mimicry deployed by the broken ray's muscle. And so from one skilled hoaxer to another.